I got advised by dispatch that they needed me for a welfare check for Miss Edna Suttles. I arrive on scene, and friends of Miss Edna, they're worried about her and that Miss Edna didn't show up to work.
There's no signs of any kind of home breaking or disturbance, but her vehicle was missing.
The son walked through the house and saw that there were a couple things out of place. He also informed me that she had about $50,000 worth of jewelry that was missing.
Edna's vehicle was found just outside of a hotel in Travelers Rest. We're able to see Edna's vehicle arrive at the grocery store parking lot, and we see this man. He walks over to his car, gets a small bag, and gets into the front of the Grand Cherokee with Edna, and they drive off.
Investigators later observed a white male arriving in Miss Suttles' Jeep and backing it in a spot behind the hotel, and then wipes the vehicle down.
Normal people don't wipe down a vehicle like that unless they're trying to conceal their identity.
The white male had went inside the grocery store and purchased a 4-pack of yogurt. He scanned his supermarket discount card.
We were able to get the information for that value card back from the grocery store. It was Daniel Printz out of Bostic, North Carolina.
I ran a criminal history check on him and found out he had a pretty scary criminal history, including kidnapping.
Why am I here?
All right. I'll talk to you about August 27th, 2021 of this year. Do you remember where you were at?
Not specifically.
Where do you think you were at?
I do a lot of home remodeling, home repairs.
Where's your jobs in South Carolina taking you?
Actually, I was down to Travelers Rest, but I don't know if it was Friday or Thursday. I know I'd been there earlier that week.
Okay, so specifically the 27th.
I think I was down there on the 24th.
So
Why
what
are we...
What you're telling us is that's not you on the 27th? Food Line parking lot?
I don't think so.
That's not you?
That's me. Where's that?
Food Line, August 27th, 2021, 9:23.
Okay.
Here's y'all in the hotel parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah? Oh look, you're walking around the car.
Yeah.
You wipe the entire car down. There's you getting back into your car and driving away. Look, man. Where's Ed?
I don't have a clue.
We need to know. Listen, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Ed?
I don't have a clue.
Dan? Dan, please. Her family is desperately looking for her.
I dropped her off at her house.
It's not making sense of it. I mean, you're the last person to be in a vehicle you wiped out of a lady that's missing.
That sounds really up.
It does. It does. That's why we're here.
I took her home. I dropped her off and I left.
It's obvious that he knows a lot more about what's going on. So what we decide is to end this conversation, to gain more evidence, come back and re-interview him.
Yes.
While we're going through his belongings, I discover a credit card to a Nancy Rago. It seemed that Printz made himself the power of attorney for this lady.
We found that she had told people that she was going to go live with Mr. Printz, and they were going to live off the grid and move away together.
Further investigation revealed Ms. Ragos hadn't been seen since 2017.
We were able to see her Social Security be deposited into her accounts, and the very next day, that money coming out of the accounts at an ATM near where we knew Printz to reside.
One of the things that was recovered was a cell phone for Dolores Sellers, who I learned was Nancy Rigo's mother. Dolores Sellers passed away within weeks of Nancy Rigo's disappearance. We began to suspect there was something nefarious with that as well. They found some jewelry that belonged to Edna on the property of Mr. Printz.
Then a B-box was located, set a little bit back away from the house. And when they looked inside, they found Edna's car keys. And also, they found the yogurt cup. The yogurt we knew he purchased at the grocery store.
We were looking through a phone, and we see some family members start to check in on this person, and we made the decision kind of on the spot, let's just call them. They said they had not heard or spoken from that person in several years. That person's name was Miss Lee Goodman.
We also then found Daniel Printz was using her finances.
We realized that Daniel Printz has potentially more victims out there. This guy is an actual serial killer.
There were some other things found at your house. There was quite a lot of stuff found in your B house. There could be a million explanations for some of that stuff, and I don't want to jump to conclusions. And if there's something that happened that you didn't intend to happen, let's talk about it.
If you tell them to turn that off, I will talk to you a little more freely.
The video recording is turned off. So I talked with Greg and made that.
Okay, let's put it this way. A person I was very good friends with wanted to do something to put someone basically out of their misery that was very closely related to them. That's one body. That person started having an extreme amount of guilt over this and decided they were going to go tell what had happened. That's the second body.
He's clicking off in his hands about different bodies. The second body that he's talking about is Miss Nancy Rigo. We believe the first person he's talking about there is Miss Dolores Sellers, Nancy Rigo's mother.
There's a third body that I did not kill, that a person I was trying to help out, and I knew that they'd be getting Social Security disability for the rest of their life. So I got rid of said bodies, for example, so that I could continue to use the card.
That individual there he's describing is Miss Goodman.
By any chance, while he's getting all this squared away, can you just help me get that closure for Edna's family?
Not until I have this. I clam up like a clam if this doesn't go federal for everything.
He wanted life in a federal prison, and then once I agreed, he'll then help us with the investigation, kind of reasserting control, which is what he wanted throughout this case. The body of Miss Rigo and Miss Goodman were not able to be recovered.
There is something to be said about the closure, but at the same time, it takes away any hope you may have. You know your mother's never coming back. I can't even put it into words the way it makes you feel.
Daniel Printz of Bostic pleaded guilty in federal court in Spartanburg in the kidnapping and death of Edna Suttles.
Authorities called Daniel Printz a monster and serial killer. They say he's also responsible for the disappearance or death of at least 3 other women.
In exchange for a life sentence, he took the responsibility for the deaths of Edna Suttles, Nancy Rigo, Dolores Sellers, and Leah Goodman.